All right, guys, how's it going? So David Ornstein and James Pearce of The Athletic have recorded, like a podcast, and they were talking about, Mo Salah, what might happen, what might not happen. Basically, both of them, have doubled down on, Mo has not shown any sign of wanting to leave. Liverpool don't want to sell him, blah, 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 the usual stuff. I found it of interest because I watched this podcast. It's available in audio format or you can watch it in video. I watched the video for you guys and I found it of interest that both of them, as they were looking at their notes, said more or less the same thing about Mo Salah at one point. And Ornstein referred to his notes a lot, James Pearce not so much. I don't like people that refer to notes a lot. I like people that I've got it here. Do you know what I mean? But obviously, if you're saying a lot of things, sometimes, you can forget. So sometimes I take notes, but not very often. But sometimes it feels when it's notes all of the time, or it just feels like very scripted. Do you know what I mean? Like, right, I've got to say that, I've got to say that, I've got to say that. And the one bit, and I've made a note, but it's the only note I've made in the entire video, is that Ornstein said there's zero indication that Mo Salah intends to leave. And then when it flipped to James Pearce at some point, he said, no indication that Mo Salah intends to leave. So, in my opinion, that's the line that's been, trotted out from, a Liverpool executive, because I think it's a coordinated media briefing. What we're seeing about Mo Salah at the moment, from when it first surfaced, a couple of days ago, whenever it was, because they all came out with it at the same time. And I think with reflection on the initial articles that we read about Mo wanting to stay, or Liverpool planning for life with Mo Salah, and I know many of you feel the same as me. I think that's Liverpool basically saying, well, he's not for sale, is he? So if you want him, you're going to have to pay for him. Because the Saudi Pro League might not be as interested in Mo Salah now as they were last year, but they still have an interest. There was a bit more of an urgency on it last year, so they were willing to pay a lot of money. But it went quiet very quickly. And I always thought that, and I can't prove this, and it's only my opinion, I always thought that maybe like Mo and his agent, what's he called? Run me a bath. Remy. My dog's called Remy. Remy Abbas. Ramy Abbas. I always run me a bath. Ramy Abbas. I always felt that it had gone very quiet, and we'd heard rumours post it going quiet, post that transfer window, when their transfer window closed, that Ramy, I want to call him Remy, had been out there to Saudi, and I always felt like it was like a we can make this happen later kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? But that's purely speculative on my part. Can't back that up whatsoever. And we're now being fed that Mo wants to stay at Liverpool, right? And I've been thinking about it a lot. And as was said in that video that I watched, a couple of years ago, when there was a contract dispute between Abbas and Salah and Liverpool Football Club, the Salah camp said to Liverpool Football Club, we're not going to get to a situation where you're going to sell him with a year remaining. We will leave on a free. If we do not sign it, sort a new contract out, you don't think you can sell him with a year to go, we'll dig in and we'll leave on a free. Salah's now got a year to go on his contract. So if they had that attitude back then, would they have that attitude now? Do you know what I mean? So if Liverpool try and sell him now, are they really going to go, yeah, all right then, when they know that they can negotiate whatever deal they could possibly want next summer, which would probably be better financially for the Saudi Pro League, because they wouldn't be paying, a huge fee to Liverpool. The player could in fact bag, 50 million quid for himself or something like that, and 10, 20 million for Remy, whatever it's called, run me a bath. You know what I mean? So it's worth remembering that, guys. if you see any speculation, I'll repeat it. A couple of years ago, when they were at a contract standoff, right, Salah's agent said to Liverpool Football Club, if this ain't sorted now, don't think you'll be selling him when there's a year to go on his contract, because we will dig in and he will leave for free. Well, that's where we're at now, right? So if Liverpool tried to sell him now, they're not going to be up for that, are they? They're going to say, no, hang on a minute, he'll leave on a free. So Liverpool have got to make it look like they don't want to sell him. So that if anybody does come in for him in the summer, Liverpool can say, look, we're not trying to sell him or anything. Do you know what I mean? We understand that you might want to leave on a free. Liverpool can't give the impression they want to sell. That would lower any potential transfer fee, right? Because if you're selling your house and you know you want to sell your house, you don't, even if you're desperate and on your ass financially and someone comes looking around, you don't go like, yeah, I really want to sell, because they're going to go, well, fucking mugs here, right? They're going to take whatever. Even if you want to sell, you go, I quite like it here. I just thought, if I put it on the market, maybe something might tempt me. That's what I've done personally myself before when I've thought about selling my house. And they've said, how much do you want? I've gone, I'm not in a rush, really. I've just thought I'd see what the market was like, test it, So Liverpool have got to play this one cool for two reasons. One, so the Saudis generally think Liverpool are willing to let him leave on a free next year, take a loss. But, we're not trying to sell him. And they also don't want the Salah camp to think that they'd be willing to sell him. Because what you've got to remember is when you see the likes of Ornstein come out, or any journalist that we know has some dialogue with the club, whatever the relationship is, whether it's at the top or the click at the bottom that are just briefed all at the same time, you've always got to say to yourself, why am I hearing this? Because you could say to yourself, couldn't you, well, we're hearing this, Dunk, because he had the bust up with Klopp, and maybe he'll go, Klopp's leaving, so what does it matter what that bust up is? Do you know what I mean? It doesn't really matter, does it? If Klopp was staying, then hearing this now would be, you'd think, oh, they're just trying to cool it. But Klopp's going anyway. So for me, it's suspicious, and I'm not always looking for a conspiracy theory. I'm not always got a tinfoil hat on. It's suspicious that I'm hearing. I think, why am I hearing this? So Liverpool are trying to put the vibe out that, nah, he's not for sale, that keeps the valuation up, right? And it also doesn't let the Salah camp think that we want to sell, right? The reality is, with the agent previously saying we wouldn't sign again, and we were a year to go, we'll let him go for free. If a bid did come in from the Saudi Pro League, Liverpool, again, would have to play it cool, right? But maybe the Salah camp might take it. So Liverpool would be like, well, if you want to push for a move, then maybe we can do something. Liverpool would have to take an offer from the Saudi Pro League this summer. They have to, because they're going to lose him for nothing. Imagine being offered 150, 200 million quid previously, which the Saudis probably would have gone to 200 million. And that was only a year, not even a year ago. You know what I mean? Sometimes we say a year, but we mean a season, right? And then let him go for nothing. It just doesn't make sense to me. This would be the last chance for Liverpool to get serious money. And think about this before you comment. If you were going to get nothing for him next year, what is Mo Salah worth to you now? Would you take 50 million and go, well, 50 million is better than nothing? Or what he offers the team in another year, is that equal to or greater than 50 million? But it depends which Mo Salah we've got, doesn't it? It depends how things go under a new manager, under Arne Slot, who is obviously the new manager of Liverpool Football Club. So, in my opinion, and it's only that, and it's purely speculative on my part, and you can form your own opinions. That's very kind of you, Duncan, thank you. Now, what I mean is, I'm not trying to put my opinion on anyone, I'm just expressing myself. I love hearing your opinions. In my opinion, Liverpool are doing a coordinated media briefing. I'm watching them to, pull from the notes. Okay, pulling from notes isn't no big deal. But when it came to the bit about Mo Salah showed no signs of wanting to leave, it was more or less word for word the same, I thought. And I did watch it back twice. And I did go back to the bits and skits. And I actually wrote them down. That's why I wrote it down on my phone. Because I wanted to see how they said it. And it was very similar, and that felt like it had come from Liverpool. Oh, he's showing no signs of going, like, so you can put that out there, we're committed to, another season with him and all that. I think it's bullshit. I think Liverpool would bite their hands off the Saudi Pro League if money came in this summer. But Liverpool can't make it look like that to the Saudis or the Salah camp. Because then, and another thing is, if you say, yeah, we're willing to sell you, then, a player can say, or an agent can say, we weren't looking for a move, so, we need a golden handshake or something. So I think Liverpool are going to play it cool. Salah stays with us. And maybe, if no bid comes in, they're just going to have to accept the fact that he's going to leave on a freebie, right? And if a bid does come in, they're going to still have to play it cool because they can't indicate to the Salah camp that they want to do business. So it just depends whether Salah and Run Me a Bath, right? If they want to grind it out another year, but it depends about the riches as well, doesn't it? And you imagine you're that agent, and the agent, never mind the player. You're the agent, and you're thinking, well, I'm going to get 10 million if he goes this summer, or next year I could get fucking 20, man. You'd be sat there going, what would you be saying to Liverpool? No, we're not looking for a move. Do you know what I mean? So it's all a game, I think. It's all a game. And I think Liverpool would bite their hands off. Liverpool would sell. I don't believe any of it, guys, at all. Now, the other option, of course, is Liverpool could, in theory, try and, negotiate a new contract with him. But financially, would it be worth doing that? And would you want to extend it by another couple of years if you've got a player that's already slowing down? Usually players want more money, especially elite players, but, you can justify reductions and that. But if Liverpool offered him a new contract of 2 years, then you're in the same situation again, because Liverpool were like, well, we need to get rid of him, really. So I'm not sure how it benefits Liverpool by giving him a contract extension. It might benefit the player. So I welcome your thoughts on the contract extension bit. Do you see that as a possibility? And if so, how does that work? I mean, if a player has a longer contract, like if he signed a 4-year contract, then that's good because you could flog him during that time maybe. But due to his age, is that really going to be an option? And they're not stupid either. So they're going to know, like, yeah, they just want to sign a new deal so they can try and cash in. But remember, it's very, very important that you remember the last time they were in this situation, if we don't get an agreement, don't think you can sell him with a year to go, same as now, because we'll stick in a leaf for fuck all. And that's the kind of people that you're dealing with sometimes. I've never trusted that agent ever. And there's a lot of people behind the scenes, that don't like him at Liverpool. I don't know, Remy, if it's Remy, my dog's called, he's Remy. We call him Remy Abbas for that reason, but it's Remy Abbas, right? Remy, now he's looking at me now, I can't fucking win. If you're watching, it's not personal, but I'm just saying what people think about you. But you're an agent, you know what I mean? I'm sure you've heard it all before. Listen, give me 10, 20 million pounds, you can say what you fucking want. But people aren't supposed to like agents, but there's a lot of people that think he was very disrespectful during those contract negotiations last time around. And Mo Salah gets away with it, because people go, oh, he doesn't know what the agent's doing. Anyway, so I just thought I'd leave that with you. What do you think Liverpool should do? Serious question, what do you think Liverpool should do? They can't actively look like they want to sell him, because they'll probably dig in and go, we'll leave on a free next year then. So they can't do that at no point. And they can't let the Saudis think that he's available. So they've got to dig in. So if you see increased speculation about a move for Salah from the Saudis, even someone like PSG maybe, if you see that come in, I think you'll get the strongest denials you've ever seen from Liverpool regarding Mo Salah. About him not being no, he's not really staying here. This player's indicated he wants to stay. But Liverpool know that he's going to go for free if they're not careful. I'd love to know what Michael Edwards is thinking, but he's probably thinking the same as me and you. He ain't that fucking clever, guys. You know what I'm saying? Some people think the sun shines out of his ass, but I strongly disagree. A lot of it's common sense, isn't it, right? A lot of it's common sense. So anyway, I would really like to know your thoughts on this. Liverpool have to sell Mo Salah this summer Liverpool have to sell Mo Salah this summer if they get a big or decent offer from the Saudis or someone else. But they have to, because he's going to go for free. But I can't make it look like it. Like they want to sell. And maybe they'll have to take the losses and just accept it. I personally don't think it's good to go into another season with uncertainty. We've got other things to sort out. Virgil van Dijk, Trent Alexander-Arnold. I noticed that Ornstein, I think it was, that said that Richard Hughes has come in and he's inherited this terrible situation with the contracts. None of his wrongdoing. So in other words, they're throwing George Schmacker or whatever under a bus and saying, well, he was last sporting director and these players are not tied down. If you watched the video of them, you'll see what I mean. If you just search the Athletic podcast on YouTube, you'll see the last upload. It's probably about 20, 25 minutes long, you know what I mean? But it's painstaking, most of it, to be honest. It's very scripted, but, there's nothing wrong with taking notes. But, I feel that the majority of my videos, when I'm talking about stuff that I think I know about, I don't need to look at notes. But I would need to look at notes if I was trying to get a special message across to you. Do you know what I mean? Or if I wanted to be very specific. Like I say, if I'm going to tell you a lot of things, I'm going to write it down maybe. It's very rare that I do that. That's why I forget so many things. But these are supposed to be professionals. These are talking about it on every fucking network or whatever. Do you know what I mean? You think that they wouldn't need to refer to that. I don't know, I was just a bit, I don't know, go watch it. I don't know. I've seen Ornstein do this recently as well. I've seen it a little bit more from him. I can't remember what he was talking about. I think it was to do with Anna's slot. And if you think about it, Ornstein has been very, very quiet for weeks and weeks and weeks, really, and has then started chirping or chiming in again with the Anna slot stuff, which also included Ruben Amorim, and this Mo Salah stuff, which I think are things that the club have wanted out there. Born Again Joyce has gone very quiet in some ways. So, I don't know, I'll keep an eye on it. I haven't got the answers, I'm just throwing it out there for you to think. But the most important part of this video that I wanted you to consider is that when they were last having the contract standoff, the Salah camp said, don't think you can sell him with a year to go. We'll stay for a free. So if they'd stay for a free, then surely they would now. You know what I'm saying? Top flight football, it's fucking shite sometimes, isn't it? Anyway, guys, hope you appreciate the video. If you do, please give me a thumbs up. Doesn't mean you agree with me. It just means, yeah, cheers. Enjoyed that, whatever. If you've got something to say, your feedback on this one would be really welcome. Please leave me a comment. If you want to buy me a coffee or a beer, hit the super thanks button. And please read the video description, get in the newsletter, the chat room and things like that. And also look for the links for the new project, the Fabrizio Knows It All, your project. Right, some of you are jumping in on that. You can become my partner on that project if you want to, or you can just become a follower of what we're going to do. So the info is in the video description. All right then. We're having a stream this afternoon, actually. What time is it? Oh, we're all right. We've got an hour and a half. 3 o'clock UK time on here. Come along for a natter. All right, guys. Hope to speak to you soon. Take care.